I've always been a big fan of first-person shooter games, and for a long time I thought Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the absolute best game on the market. And what was it, Call of Duty 4 that came out afterwards was pretty cool. I kind of like the Modern Warfare better, but I haven't had the internet or a PlayStation or any of that for a little while now, so I'm kind of behind here. I haven't played too much of Black Ops or Modern Warfare 3, and I have not checked out Battlefield 3 yet either. But I've had some ideas about how to make the Call of Duty series better and just to improve their games, and I guess it would probably apply for any first-person shooter game. And I'm not sure, if these ideas are, I guess, compatible with the engines that run these games. But I'm gonna say them, let you guys know what they are nonetheless, because I think they're pretty good. But the first thing that I'd like to see is varying weather. You guys remember when you used to play like Madden, the football game? It would have like random weather, and it might be rainy or it might be snowy. There'd be snow on the field or whatever. I think before every multiplayer match, I like to play multiplayer a lot more than the regular levels. But before the multiplayer matches, it should have random weather, and maybe it's going to be rainy, or maybe it's going to be foggy, or maybe it's going to be snowy. And you can see footsteps, you can see where people have ran through the level, and that would change the gameplay, and I think it would make it more interesting. But like some areas that were open before that you wouldn't want to run across if there was fog in them, it might be easier to run through there, and you might not be able to snipe at some points, and it would make for a more dynamic gameplay. And I don't know how hard it would be to do that, but I feel like it's the same level, just kind of change the weather conditions, and on that same note too, change the time of day. So sometimes it's sunny and it's daytime, and sometimes it's dark at nighttime, and maybe there's a full moon, so it's a starry night you can kind of see, and maybe it's dusk or dawn, but have it be a different time and different weather every day just to make it more interesting. And this is kind of even more out there, but I think it's possible. I want to see a random map generator for multiplayer. And I don't know the words I'm trying to use here, but I designed levels in Assault Cube, and it's a real basic cube engine, but I think they call them map models and that. And you can, put them in, spin them around, rotate them. But you can kind of see in the Call of Duty games too, they use the same cars. They park them on the sides of the road. Some of the buildings look the same. It's just kind of, they have them. They're already created and they're stored there someplace. And I think it'd be real cool if they could make the random multiplayer map generator. Just take all the different, map models, all the different buildings, all the trees, all the plants, everything, and just randomly put it down on a map. So that way, when you go to play multiplayer, it's unique and nobody knows the level. They can't camp. It's never been seen before, and it would change every time. I think that'd be real sweet too, because in real war, you're going into somebody else's neighborhood that you've never really seen before. You might have pictures of it, but there's always that element of what's behind this door, what's over there. And I think if you could incorporate that, it would make it more interesting. As far as the random map editor, I don't know if any of you guys played SimCity. I think it was SimCity 2000. Back in the day, they had a terrain editor or something, and you could kind of pick, the percentage of hills that you want, the percentage of water that you want, the percentage of, trees or vegetation or whatever. I feel like you could make the random map editor kind of, pick random numbers for how hilly is the terrain in this level going to be, how many roads are going to come through this, and just plug in the different styles of roads and the different textures and all that, and make it randomly generate a new level every time. And you could really get in depth with that, and have, all right, we're gonna have pick a number, 4, 6, 8 roads on a grid system, and maybe 2 roads that just go through at a random diagonal, and you could generate the random angle there. You could generate, there's gonna be how many buildings here? What's the percent of development or urbanization in this level? 10%, or maybe it's gonna be 90%. Maybe it's a really crowded neighborhood. And houses and the buildings, give them different textures at random, rotate them a little bit, make it just different, but have it generate random. Put trees in people's yards, it could be desert terrain, it could be wooded neighborhood, it could be concrete jungle, it could be anything. But I think the technology is there to kind of take all the different elements of maps that you have and randomly generate it so that you get a different experience each time. And I'm a big fan of the Assault Cube game because of the map editor and because they let players make their own maps, and they can pretty much change the gameplay. I have a Assault Cube level a map that I made on here. You can look at it. I made a video of it, and it's kind of set up for capture the flag, and the way I made the map kind of dictates the way that the game will be played. And I think that if you could make it so that players of the Call of Duty series or whatever could edit their own maps and get online and submit them, that would be excellent. That would really keep things changing a lot, and that would keep the game interesting and put it back where it should be, like really innovative. And you'd probably have to do it on a computer or something, because it'd probably be hard to do with a PlayStation controller or whatever. But the technology is there. Put the software out there and let fans of the game make maps. It'd be awesome. Alright, I don't know if you can do that. It might not fit your engine, but if not, I'd like to see more high alpine levels, mountains, above the tree line. Yeah, in winter and in not winter. Jungle levels, tons of trees. I love the trees and the plant life in all the Call of Duty games. It's awesome, and like it really stands out. But I want to see full blown, jungles and swamps and icky shit. Arctic levels. Yeah, definitely. Underground worlds too, caves or something, that'd be cool. Mines, but then I also want to see spaceships and crazy shit, at least just for fun, a couple of them, you know what I mean? Like, kind of go after the Halo theme. If you had the map editor there, I'm sure fans would really make some crazy levels. And, I almost want to see pinball too, where you have crazy, bounce off of this and fly up into the sky and shoot people, and, that's out there. And if you can't do that, whatever, but I think people would have fun with, if you could put some of those crazy elements in it too, like teleport through things and whatnot, and just make it outer spacey. Recreate some of those old Doom levels and really crazy looking stuff. If you're gonna let people edit the maps too, you should let them edit the kill streaks. So after set it, I want to get tactical nukes after 3 or after 1,000,000 or whatever, but give them the ability to program that so they can kind of look at their map, see what the gameplay is going to allow for. Like, oh, there's going to be a lot of killing here. There's not. I want this to be that, whatever. Planned collapsible air raid areas. That's what I have written down here. But when you drop bombs out of airplanes, they should have some of these buildings come down, like totally turn into rubble. And you could even have 3 or 4 different rubble designs and just have it generate at random, so that the map will change as you're playing it, and that building is going to turn into a pile of rubble that you can run over or hide behind and shoot. But I don't see why you couldn't have, each building or each little area on the map have a couple different, this is what's going to happen when the bombs go off, have it collapse like this and have it so you can play through it. Knock some walls over, stuff like that. The more damage that you can do to the map and have it still be playable, like, oh, that wall just fell over, I'm going to run through it now. That's awesome. I like to throw grenades through glass windows and have it break. Shoot out glass windows, shoot out TVs. Like, I like to be able to affect the environment and not just have it be totally stationary. I'd like to see more gameplay where you only get like 3 to 5 lives. I don't know if you want to have a death match or whatever. You could have timers on it too, so that you're not waiting around for the last people to die 5 times. But rather than just one time and you're out, give them 3 lives, give them 5 lives, and let them play games like that. Parachute and respawn. I think it'd be kind of cool if you're just parachuting down. You might be able to do that in Battlefield 3 or something, I'm not sure, but shoot at the sky or whatever, just something to consider. And the last thing I have written down here is circle pit. Like that the shipyard level on Modern Warfare with the crates, and it's real small, and I used to think of it like a circle pit because it was just close combat, real crazy. But I want to have a level kind of like that with a little something set up in the middle, an arena, and have it in a circle. And have it when you run outside of the circle, you just come across on the other side. That sounds hard to explain, but I guess like if I run out of the circle, transport me 180 degrees to the other side of the circle and have me run right back into the map. So, if somebody's hiding on the other side, you can just run backwards and pop out behind them or whatever. I hope that makes sense, but trying to think here. I think that makes sense, you know what I mean? If you go off the map on one side, you come right back on the other side, the opposite side of the circle. And the last thing I've written down here is I think you should be able to set it so that if you want to play so that you're never the bad or the terrorists or whatever, if you always want to be shooting at terrorists and never shooting at Marines, I think you should set it up so that I never have to shoot Marines. Peace.